End it off. We'll go back to magic. Great word with technology, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, so, although it's not magic, as we know, right?
underneath it's the magic. It's the stuff you don't see, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So let's focus on a really positive end. We talk about some of the challenges, but also a lot here about how to really overcome them. So if we put all of this together, where would you describe like the trajectory of innovation fueled by this kind of age of convergence we're in, with GenAI at the heart of that? But what are you seeing as the biggest benefits for organisations kind of embracing this journey? And I know people talk about efficiency a lot and things like that, but obviously it's sustainability, multiple areas we can make a difference here. So perhaps to end it, where are you seeing the biggest benefits?
Right now, the benefits are pretty concentrated in like 3 or 4 areas. As soon as you mention the word automation, people think about productivity, they think potentially about savings. But this really, back to the point I just made about clients being able to focus on their core business, I don't think they really want to build up IT organizations that have hundreds or thousands of people doing these kind of repetitive tasks. Indeed. They do want those people focused on some of the innovation and some of the ability to try new things and look at where they can impact their clients. And so all that automation fueled by AI does is allow the ability to free up and release some of those resources for other, shall we say, higher value-based type approaches.
Definitely.
I mentioned, the EY example. I'd also talk about IBM. One of the areas where we're seeing undoubtedly, as we use and deploy What's Next ourselves internally, one of the biggest benefits is in HR.
Yes.
And again, it's not about replacing HR functions. It's about freeing them up from the repetitive tasks. The how do you go hire someone? How do you bring someone on board? How do you set up their next set of salary increases or what have you? To looking more at what kind of training does this person need? How do we get smarter about deciding what are the right skills and profiles for certain new jobs that are coming up, or whether that be external hiring. So HR for sure is a big area where we're seeing some benefits ourselves, but also we're working with our clients. We talked about automation. You mentioned sustainability. We've mentioned the word scale a couple of times. If ever there was an area that kind of requires the need to act at scale, or to sort of understand the landscape and pull together disparate pieces of information in a way that can be very, very complex, but also with the potential for huge ability to reinvest in terms of some of those savings. So sustainability. But listen, let's get back to probably the core of what most of our clients started down the AI path with, was that customer interaction, the marketing, sales kind of piece. Now, it started with the whole kind of assistant thing. The assistant thing is a terrible term, but pretty rudimentary. That's not really what we're in IBM are talking about as being the value here, because the whole difference between that kind of search engine vis-a-vis something that actually is learning, is adapting, and can allow you to engage the client in a different, potentially less predictable fashion, but one that hopefully will lead to some better returns for our clients. That's probably the one where most of the projects that we're seeing are going live right now. But broadly speaking, it's those 3 or 4 areas where we're seeing the biggest return. And listen, no doubt they will develop as we go forward.
Absolutely. Use cases left to be invented, as I say.
No, I'm sure there are hundreds. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I know we need to bring it to get to an end here. And again, we talked about magic, but there's so much substance under the hood here, as I like to say. Yeah. And again, lunar year, isn't it? Year of the Dragon. I'm going to go back to that blog piece that almost inspired this conversation. Year of the Partner. It's 2024, isn't it? It really is. Ecosystem makes a difference. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. Pleasure to join you, and thank you all for watching and tuning in too. We'll be back soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.